Roomba on the carpeted floor with some sugar and some oatmeal here. Right now you have to start this vacuum from the side and then you press the button. As you can see, it goes, and the sugar is pretty good, but the oatmeal is not that impressive. There's obviously still some sugar there. There's maybe like 50% left, but a lot more of the oatmeal was left there. And also, as you could see, the kind of suction pad is not very wide. We can test out the Roomba here. You click on the top to start it, and it takes a little bit to go and start spinning, and there it goes. As you can see, it gets the sugar pretty good and also the oatmeal pretty good. Let me stop that before it goes back around. This is just one pass. As you can see, the sugar is basically all gone. There's like a little bit left, maybe 5%, but it's still very minimal, and especially the oatmeal is basically all gone. There's two small flecks there, so maybe like 2% left. Very minimal. But it did kind of scatter some of the bigger flakes to the side, so, but it's not too big of a deal considering how late the suction was here. So you can see there's quite a big difference between the two. This is what you're getting for the increased price. So we're going to move on to the hardwood floor again with the sugar and oatmeal. We'll start with the iLife here and turn it on from the side again. Then you press it on and it gets going right away. As you can see, it pushes around a lot of the material, so I have to stop it before it kind of ruins the other path. As you can see, it gets quite good for the oatmeal part, but the sugar part definitely is leaving some to be desired here. So we can start with the Roomba and see how that goes. Again, takes a little bit before it ramps up. There it starts going. And as you can see, it pushes a little bit to the side, but not as much as the iLife. And for the oatmeal, basically all gone, especially with the kind of sugar as well. Got quite a bit of it, but it did push a lot of it to the side. But it didn't get to the edge quite well with the spinner there, as you can see. But it didn't get fully because I stopped it just before it continued cleaning, and you can see the ledge is a little bit of an indent, which is usually pretty hard to get, but it did a pretty good job. So now when you compare the two, the iLife is definitely not as good, but the comparison is not as drastic from the carpet. Now we'll move on to the noise level. As you can see, the ambient is around 36, so the iLife going around 55, around 56 decibels on carpet. So we're going to see how that compares to the Roomba here. Again, it takes a little moment to start up. Once it gets going, it's quite a bit louder. It may maintain around 60, 61 decibels, so about 3 or 4 higher than the iLife. But with that extra sound, you do get extra suction, so it is worth it in this instance. But if you really value the noise, choose the iLife. Next, you have the dock right here. As you can see, the iLife stock is very minimal, and the Roomba's dock is huge because it has an incline here. So when the vacuum goes in there, the debris is kind of pushed to the back. So that in there, it's sucking up all the food, all the debris into the bag right up there. And that's the storage extra bag over there. And on the other side, this is where the dust and hair gets into the bag, so you can unlock it there. It's not going anywhere. As you can see, it has a very premium feel, premium material, so I can definitely tell this will last a while. In the back, we have some cord management by wrapping the cord around these braces here. Makes it easier to manage and less cables in the way. So now we compare the dustpan of the two robots. I'll start with the Roomba here. Click on the knob there, the gray one, and you can see it opens up. It kind of slide it open and then click it back onto the side. There's a removable air filter so you can clean it and do whatever you need to do. And the back, that's where the dust comes out onto the dock right there, and that's how you put it back in. And for the iLife, there's a big bucket in the middle that you can pull out. Kind of open it with the ledge, and there's 2 tabs on the side that you can pull to open, and reveals all the dust you dump out. On the side, there's also a removable air filter. It's bigger than the iRobot. Now we see the underside of both of them. As you can see, one is much bigger than the other for the suction area. For the iRule, but you can also come and get the brushes out and clean them if you don't want to. But for the iLife, there's no brushes. You can't detach anything except these spinners if you unscrew the screws. But for the Roomba, there are two spinners. The other one broke, so I'm going to go without it. As you can see, the middle there, the charging port is a little bit bigger on the iLife. The metal pieces, the square metal pieces, and the sensors are more on the Roomba. There are 6 on the Roomba, and both of the wheels feel around the same, but the Roomba has thicker color wheels. As you could see overall, I would think that because the Roomba is much pricier, it does perform better in every area. But for the price, the iLife is not bad because it's such a great value. So today we're going to review this vacuum. I'm going to test its capabilities out on some sugar and some oatmeal on the carpeted floor to see how well it works. First, you have to flip the switch on the side. Then you press the button on top, and as you can see, it's going now. It picked up the sugar really well, but the oatmeal is still on the floor. It did get a lot of it, but some trailed, so the suction power is not fantastic. However, it does do well with the smaller particles. So next, let's go ahead and we're going to move on to the hardwood floor where we have some of the sugar and oatmeal. We flip it on, and as you can see, it does pretty well with the sugar and oatmeal, but it got stopped by the door stop. I'm going to go ahead and stop it here, and you can see that it pushed away some particles with the sliders, which is why you see some next to the ledge. It handled the oatmeal pretty well, picking up the majority, but some were left in the creases. It pushed around a lot of the sugar, so it's not fantastic, but for the price range, it's pretty good. Now we're going to measure the noise level. To give you a baseline, a quiet room is typically around 34 decibels. When we started on the hardwood floor, the noise basically doubles, which is standard with most robo vacuums. It is louder on the hardwood floor than on the carpet, but 55 decibels is about as loud as it gets, which is about 5 decibels less than what you would find on a hardwood floor with many other vacuums that I've tested. Speaking level is about 75 decibels, so that's how loud it would be. Let's take a look at some of the features. This is how you remove the dust collector. You open it up like this, and there are 2 handles at the side to lift it up. As you can see, all of the sugar and oatmeal is inside. There is also a removable air filter on the back that you can clean. To put it back, you simply press it and lock it into place. Now, if you look at the bottom, you can see that the wheels are working well and have a certain amount of bounce to them. The spinners I've been using for quite a long time, so they're not in the best shape. You can also see that the suction hole is not very large. I also have other vacuum cleaners that are bigger and can suck up more. Aesthetically, this looks pretty good. You can see the cleaning button on top to turn it on, and you can turn off the vacuum by clicking the switch on the side. You can also charge it directly on the side next to the switch. Overall, it's what